If you have kids and you're a business owner or you're about to start a business, do not pay a single dime to your kids until you have watched this video. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Sam Kwak, one of the Kwak brothers, real estate investor and entrepreneur. And if you have kids and you're a business owner or you're thinking about starting a business, do not pay your kids until you have watched this video. So in this video, I'm gonna share some strategies on how to effectively pay your kids, get a tax write-off, and teach your kids about using money wisely. Now, the reason why I got into this topic is, well, here's the big news. Drum roll, please. I'm gonna be a dad. And I've been doing a lot of research on this and I've been kind of freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, how much is this kid thing gonna cost? You know, I never had kids. This is all new to me. So I've been doing some research, and according to the research, on average, it takes about $233,000 to raise a child from 0 to 18 years old. And knowing the kid that I was, it's probably gonna cost more than $223,000. It might actually end up being double. So I'm preparing for the worst of costing nearly $1 million to raise a child, especially my child, because, you know, I was such a menace and I was such a troublemaker. It's that much of a liability. So in this video, I'm gonna share some strategies that my CPA, my accountant, has shared with me on how to get a tax write-off in paying your kids, and at the same time, it teaches your kids on how to save money, how to be wise with money, and how to invest money properly. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys share this as much as I do, but I really don't want my child turning into an entitled little beast, okay? And I really don't want my child to not know the value of hard work, and I really want my child to understand that they have to put value and create things and produce things in order for money to show up. So this is a phenomenal way not only to teach kids about the hard lesson of money, but at the same time, it allows you to get a tax benefit by paying your kids to do some work for you in your business. So that's one thing that I want to emphasize, is that you can't just pay your kids for nothing. You do have to pay your kids for doing actual work in your business. So in my business, I'm in the business of marketing and real estate investing. So one thing that I can do for my kids or with my kids is that they could mow my lawn, my rental properties, right? The lawns that I have for my rental properties. They could help me shred paper or sensitive documents. They could help me vacuum the office. They can clean my office bathroom, okay? And something that is directly related to the business, you can have them do some of these quote unquote chores and get paid to do so. Now, another idea that I know a lot of real estate investors are using is putting their kid's picture on their postcard when they send out a marketing campaign. So if you want to do an advertising piece or you want to create a flyer for your business, you could include your child on that flyer, a picture of your child on that flyer as a model, and pay your child as quote unquote models and pay them for the service that they've rendered, being cute and, you know, and all. So that's something that I've seen a lot of real estate investors do, creating flyers as well as postcards and using their child as a model and paying the child a reasonable compensation. And that reasonable compensation can also be applied to their college fund. It could be set aside in their retirement account, whatever it may be. This is a phenomenal way to get some tax savings along the way. Now, as far as tax savings go, the tax law allows us to take a standard deduction of $12,000 a year. Now, this has changed from 2017, where in 2017, the standard deduction was $6,720. The new tax law is now allowing us to take a standard deduction of $12,000. So what that means is you can pay your child up to $12,000 for the work that they've done for your business, and they don't have to pay any taxes, tax-free, no FICA, FUTA, SUTA, workers' comp, none of that. And you get to write it off as a business expense. So this is a phenomenal way to do it. Now, I do want to talk about the technicalities on how to do this. And of course, I'm not a CPA, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a tax professional, so be sure to consult with a tax professional first before you start applying this to your own life. And what I'm gonna give you is more of a general sense on how this works, and what I will be doing for my child once the child pops out into this world. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys an illustration right here in the whiteboard as to the technicality and how the money should move, how paying the kids actually works out of your business. So the first example I'm gonna show you guys is kids under 18, less than 18 years old, okay? And, missed a word there. So this is kids under 18 years old. And what's nice about kids under 18 years old, you don't have to give them a 1099. You just pay them, you just move the money into their account. So what you can do is, if you either have an LLC or you're a sole proprietor, okay, you can pay your child directly. And one thing that I have to note here is that move the money into their checking account, the child's checking account. So you can open a checking account for your kids, and what you must do is you have to move the money into their bank account, okay? Now, if you have an S corporation, okay, so this is a type of a corporation that you can set up. If you have an S corp, you need to have what's called a family management company that is a sole proprietor. So unfortunately, you cannot pay your child directly out from an S corp, okay? You cannot do that. But what you can do is pay a family management company, quote unquote, which is a sole proprietor, and then pay the child out of the sole proprietor. So this is a way to take advantage of the tax laws that we have today that allows us to save up to $12,000 in tax deduction, and also teaching the child the benefit of hard work. So I'm gonna put this into an example. Let's say little Johnny here went and cleaned my desk as well as shredded a bunch of paper for me, and he spent 2-3 hours doing so. Let's say the rate that I'm gonna pay my child is $15 an hour, okay? So that means I would have paid my child $45 for that service. So when that service has been performed, your LLC bank account or your sole proprietor bank account is gonna pay your child that $45, actually move the money and have their debit card, okay, that child could use. Now, $45 might be a little bit too much for, you know, a young kid, but you can set your reasonable compensation according to what you feel is fair. So what's nice is the next time your child wants to go and buy a piece of candy, or they want to buy a new soccer cleats, or they want to buy a video game that they love, have them spend out of their own money, right? Instead of you buying this stuff for them and quote unquote spoiling them, have them buy the items that they love using the money that they've earned, that they've worked for in your business. Now, of course, when Christmas rolls around or birthday rolls around, you may want to give them, you want to shower them with gifts. You don't want to have them earn their way into getting a Christmas gift or a birthday present. But what you can do is now you're separating what is being earned and what is truly a gift, and they'll appreciate you for that. So when paying your kids, actually move the money, okay, transfer it into the child's bank account. And you can do this by using most phone apps, right? Most banks have apps that allow you to transfer money in a matter of seconds. Just click a button and that's, you're good to go. So that's one way to do it. Same thing with the S Corp, transfer it over to the family management company and then transfer it once again. So this is more of a two-step process. Now, when dealing with kids that are 18 and up, okay, so you might have an older child who's in college or who just graduated high school. If we're dealing with kids that are over the age of 18, okay, in this case, you could have an LLC, a sole proprietor, okay, or the S Corp, okay. In this case, you could just pay them directly to your child's bank account. The only difference is that you do have to give them a 1099 at the end of the year. So you can still give them up to $12,000 in standard deduction, okay, but you do have to give them 1099 and they have to report that on their tax return. Okay, so that's the only difference between a child that's under the 18 and child over the 18. Now, of course, there are different state laws and state taxes that may apply to this. So again, be sure to consult with your local tax professional to make sure that this will work for you and that there are no other taxes that you have to pay throughout the process. So this is a great way because, I mean, you were gonna pay for the child's lunch their video game, their soccer lessons, or dance lessons, piano lessons, you were gonna pay for them anyways. Might as well take tax deduction on some of the items that you're paying for already and have your child learn how to work hard and understand the value of making money through hard work. So this is a phenomenal way to take not only tax deductions, but also teach your kids valuable lessons. So I'm definitely gonna be using this strategy when my kids are definitely old enough to start working, and I believe you should as well. If you own a business or you're thinking about starting a business, this is a phenomenal strategy for you to teach kids about money and at the same time save money on taxes that your business is paying. So I hope this video gave you a whole new perspective on saving money and teaching your kids valuable lessons. The next video that I recommend you guys watch is how to pay off your mortgage within 5 to 7 years, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do this without making more money or cutting back on expenses. So that video is right here. Click on that video to learn how to pay off your mortgage within 5 to 7 years. I'll see you guys in that next video.